Panama City, waking up to a new voice. I'm Hugh. I'll take you to work. I'll get you going. News Talk 101, Panama City Information Station. Welcome, WYO-FM listeners. You can stick with me. First day of the month, I'll give you the whole background on the show, but just trust me, this is where you come for the news that you need, the analysis you want, and everything that you absolutely must have about Cleveland sports. I'm from Ohio, and I'm sorry you can't take the kid out of Ohio and put him in the Beltway, but you can't take the Browns and the Indians out of the kids and the Cavs. But they're not playing, so we don't talk about that. Benjamin Netanyahu, this is called the rundown. This is the 7 or 8 minutes, Panama City, that you need just to know what's going on. Either I do it at the top of the show or at the bottom of the first hour, so that your morning is to just know what's going on. Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, has landed in D.C. to sign normalization deals, peace deals, with the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. Meanwhile, the country he left, Israel, is locking down as the second coronavirus wave hits, as is Great Britain. They are both in the grip of the virus right now, doing the best that they can. All around the world, people doing the best that they can. I personally believe no one could have done better than Trump because of the nature of the disease. He's done as well as any president could. Still a ghastly toll, but I don't think it's a political issue. I do not believe anyone could have done better than Trump has done. Anyone who would have been in the presidency with the same amount of information. That's the bottom line. It was going to be a horrific toll in America because we are a freedom city. I don't blame Andrew Cuomo either. He didn't know he was sending people to their death when he sent them to the nursing homes. I don't blame anyone for anything except the Chinese Communist Party. They are responsible. Politico reports that Iran is planning to assassinate the U.S. ambassador to South Africa. Yep. Obama and Biden want that deal with Iran, and Biden wants back into it. They're trying to kill our ambassador because Soleimani, who was in Iraq trying to kill Americans, was taken off the battlefield by Trump. That's their rationale. Oxford and AstraZeneca has resumed their coronavirus vaccine. Now, that was the one that was most advanced in the United States, the one by Moderna, and there's another one by Pfizer, I think, that's pretty far advanced. AstraZeneca halted their trial when they had a very odd death. They investigated, and the trial was resumed. That's good news. Washington Post, Latino groups warn that Biden's sluggish outreach to their voters could hurt in November. That is, in fact, becoming evident, that there is strong and growing support for Donald Trump among Latino Americans. I have a lot of theories about why this is. One of them is very basic. Having worked in the home building business for 30 years as a lawyer for some of the largest developers in the world, and having been on a lot of development sites and seen a lot of 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 home developments go from a plan on a piece of paper to the actual open communities with schools and roads. The home building boom in the United States is employing millions of Latino Americans. It is, especially in California, Arizona, Nevada, the western states, but throughout the United States, home building is a Latino American heavy population. A lot of the trades, a lot of the crafts, a lot of the building done. I think probably in California, drywalling is nearly an exclusive Latino profession. I really don't know if they have crews that are Anglo or Black. I just think and they like what Trump has done for them. They love this rebound. I don't even we weren't in a recession, and this isn't a rebound. We closed and we've reopened, or almost reopened. But all of a sudden, Kamala Harris is showing up in Florida at a Latino restaurant. Mike Bloomberg says he's going to spend $100 million to help Joe Biden in Florida. The president is in Nevada talking to Latinos. We have figured out they are the group that's up for grab. Also from the Financial Times, Republicans are pouring cash into Senate races. They are really pouring it on. Susan Collins has surged back. Tom Tillis has surged back. David Perdue is way ahead. Martha Mcsally is within shouting distance. Mark Kelly's fallen because of his racist remarks in Arizona. I don't know that he can stop that fall. That's like George Allen in the macaca moment. We've got John James viable in Michigan. Alabama's going to turn Republican. Mitch McConnell feeling pretty good. Over the weekend, President Trump signed an executive order lowering prescription drug prices on U.S. seniors by executive order. That he could do so, I did not know. I'm glad that he did. The president is visiting California as fires rage there. I don't know exactly where he's going to go. And, of course, the big story on Friday, on Saturday, and on Sunday was the effort by sports to make police look bad. And then on Saturday night, 2 LA County sheriff detectives shot in an ambush. They're both, I think, in stable but critical condition now. And demonstrators outside of their hospital in Los Angeles chanting, "We hope they die." The Wall Street Journal has an editorial this morning entitled, "We Hope They Die." Protesters cheer a shooting ambush of sheriff's deputies in L.A. And the disgust is palpable in the United States, 99% of whom support the police. And I watched the video repeatedly because I didn't know how they could ambush 2 sheriff's deputies, and I figured it out. Very shrewd, but also just premeditated attempted murder. Apparently, both of them have been shot in the head, but not in the brain. That's if I understand it correctly. Bad injuries, but hopefully they will both recover. Prayers for them and for every law enforcement officer in the car today. It's unbelievable. That's the rundown. Those are the important stories. Now to the non-important stories. Polling. Fox general election shows Biden up by 5. That means it's a dead heat. I think I've told you before, only one poll was off by more than 5, but many were off by 5 in the states in 2016. One was off by more than 5 in Wisconsin. They had Hillary up 6.5, the Real Clear Politics average of polls. So Biden up 5 in a national poll. That's the noise signal to noise. Arizona, Biden up by 3. I don't believe that at all. Mcsally versus Kelly. This was taken before the Kelly tape dropped. Kelly only up by 7. I think Martha's probably closed that to a dead heat by now. And the Fox News Trump job approval, approved 48, disapproved 51. That's the best he's ever been. He's a very divisive figure, but he also, Joe Biden not being out on the trail. That I ask you again, if you're a Joe Biden supporter, I'm about to talk to one, call me at 1-800-520-1234. Are you not concerned that Joe Biden is hiding? I have never seen 6 weeks before an election a candidate hide. Now, they've got one structured event today. I'll wait and see what it was. He sat down with Jake Tapper last week, basically doing one event every other day, one interview, quote, interview. Not the questions I would ask, but everyone gets to ask their own questions. There are obvious questions that Joe Biden has to answer that he has. You want to go back in the JCPOA. Why? What makes you think you can persuade Iran to be other than a rogue state? You said you're against fracking. Now you say you're for fracking. Explain fracking for us. And he'll mumble and jumble his way through that. Robert Gates says you were wrong on Evan, former defense secretary for President Obama, said you were wrong on every decision for 40 years. What's going to make you right now? And then you vanish. What's up with that, Mr. Vice President? Why are you not campaigning? Robert in Cincinnati, Ohio. Hi, Robert. How are you?
Hey, how you doing this morning? I could not believe I got up and I heard you talking, and I said, I got to call in.
Oh, good. Are you a Bengals fan? We're going to beat you on Thursday night. If you're a Bengals fan, I just want you to know the Browns are going to take your team apart. Joe Burrows is going to be Joe Burr at the end of that.
No.
Yeah,
well, hey, wait a minute. You might be right on that one. Because, I'm a Bengals fan, but no.
You poor man.
Just don't. I couldn't believe what happened last night.
Well,
can you believe that?
No. Well, look, both the Browns and the Bengals had a bad night, but I'm just telling you, by Thursday night, the Browns will be back on top. The poor Joe Burrows. All right, go ahead, my friend. You're a Biden supporter. Go ahead.
Yeah. The fact is that he was vice president for 2 terms with President Obama, which had a good year. But I cannot believe that the Republicans are still supporting the lying bigot that we got up there in office now. And when he says stuff on TV and people don't react to it, I said, this is amazing. Is this America? Or is he a Putin and the president of China?
Hey, Robert, I understand you don't like Trump. I understand you don't like Trump.
I understand I don't like Trump, but
I don't think he's a biget. I don't think he's a bigot. I just don't.
What do you mean he's okay? That's
But
right. Y'all don't like that, right?
but
Well,
my question, you're a great
all right,
caller. Don't go anywhere. But
he's
my
overly prejudiced. How about that? Since
I don't
y'all
believe that
like
either. But
bigots
my
and
question is,
racists.
are you worried because Biden is hiding? Do you think something's wrong with the
No, he
vice
ain't
president?
hiding. He ain't hiding. That's what Trump put out there. Yeah, let me ask you a question. You said, well, all the presidents come out before. Had there ever been a presidential running where you had a virus like you got now?
No.
All right then. So why are you saying that Biden is hiding? He got some sense to wear a mask and not come out there
Because you can campaign very safely.
and get people like Trump without masks and
You know, you could,
and they
Robert.
gonna get the virus.
Are you going to leave
And,
the house today, Robert?
yeah, I'm gonna leave the house. I carry my mask with me.
Yep.
I
You can go out. Are you going to go to work?
No, I've been retired for 15 years.
That's all you've got is the Bengals. Then you're a retired guy, and no wonder you're voting for Biden. It's a horrible thing to be a Bengals fan and retired.
So you all have believed everything that Trump said when he told y'all he could shoot somebody.
No, I didn't. I think that's a joke.
And then you all would believe him. That's what happened.
Robert,
now,
what I want to impress on you is you're not.
I'm a Biden and Harris.
I got it. But you're not borrowing. You're not bothered.
We're going to win despite that person. I'll put it like this: the person that we got up there.
Okay.
In Washington.
Robert, another question for you.
Go ahead.
When you were working, what kind of job did you have?
I was a teacher.
Okay, great. You know that right now the teachers' unions are basically shutting down education in America in order to defeat Trump. What do you make of that?
What do you mean? They should, since he let the virus get out of hand and everybody's afraid to go back to work. You all keep saying that. I heard you a few minutes ago talking about what's happening overseas, and who's that now?
Israel and Britain are shut down.
Yeah. All right then. Well, again, and you gonna talk with Trump? He did the best he could for any president would have.
Yep.
So what you saying? If Biden had been president then?
If Biden had been president, he wouldn't have shut down China. We'd have twice as many cases, 3 times as many dead. But Robert, I appreciate the call. I got to go to break. But my producer wants to know what you taught.
Hey, let's say.
Were you an American history teacher?
Last word.
Yep.
Please get out there and vote for Biden, everybody, because if we have another 4 years of Trump, we can be put down as one of those used to be powerful nations in the world.
All right, Robert, you call me again. Any Bengals fan is welcome on this show because we got to help people who suffer. You're always welcome here because we got to help those who suffer.